Greetings, my friends. Welcome back to day 11. Congratulations on making it here. You're doing amazing. And we're just about to get into really the fun stuff over the next couple of days and weeks here. So, creating the offer is all great and fun, but when you can actually get your hands on something tangible, that starts to change the game a little bit, okay? So what we're going to do today, and I want to frame this up for you just a little bit. What we're going to do today is as you can see, we're actually going to log in here, and we're going to just do a little bit of work in the actual funnel world, okay? So what we're going to get into is we're just going to create a simple 2-page funnel, all right? I'm going to show you how simple this can look, and then we'll create one or maybe two that are a little bit more souped up just so you can start to get some design ideas in terms of how to create your page, all right? So the first thing that I want to do is I'm just going to open up a little 2-page funnel that I created so that you can see it and so that we can kind of talk about just how simple this can be, all right? So first of all is I'm going to open up the landing page that I created, and here's what most people do when they see this page, okay? Most people say, are you serious? Like, that's it? This is the desktop, and this is the mobile. And I'm here to set you free today, okay? I'm here to set you free today from the belief that your funnels and your websites need to be complicated and confusing, all right? What most people don't realize is that not even just when they got started, but really throughout their entire career, most people who are successful online use very simple sales funnels. That's especially in industries like affiliate marketing or network marketing or coaching and consulting, all right? So what we're going to do today is we're going to look not only just at design, but we're also going to look at, for instance, the congruency of the sales funnel. So I kind of set this up, and what we're going to do is evaluate it, and then what we're going to do is we're going to go back and create it so that you can sort of watch as I create it and the things that I think through and the things that I check, okay? Now, before we get too deep into this, number one, I want to establish a couple ground rules early on in this video. Number one is this is not the space to go through and report bugs on the tool or report issues with the tool, or if something isn't working just quite right in your funnel, or there's something's missing, right? That goes into a support group, okay? What we're doing here is we're kind of building the groundwork for your funnel. So what we want to focus on here is the messaging of your funnel, okay? So if there's something that's just a little bit off or whatever, look, we still have another couple of weeks here in the boot camp. So number one is figure it out. Number two is there's support groups or support tickets that you can submit for any, even if you're not using Builderall, there's tons of support outlets for any tool that you're using to build sales funnels, okay? So we don't want to fill this group with I can't get my padding to work on the mobile, I can't get my blah 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 to work, okay? That's not the place for this, all right? So first things first, free 7-day trial. Discover the one tool you need to crush your digital marketing. Okay, now is that a great headline? Probably not. I just threw it together quickly so I had a headline, all right? And this is just enter your name and email below for instant access, right? So if I was writing a Facebook ad and I said, hey, I have the one tool, the all-in-one tool that you need to crush your digital marketing. Here's a free 7-day trial. That's how I would maintain congruency with this landing page. I want you guys to start to think of this landing page, this capture page or opt-in page, it's all kind of the same thing, as just a stepping stone. Most people confuse this, and look, could we get a little bit more, sure, could we get a little bit more fancy? Could we add additional things and make this a little more fancy? Sure, I could probably do that. But the point here is you don't need to do that in order to be successful. In fact, a lot of times it will detract from just the simplicity So sometimes what people do is like I just did there is they come in and they're like, "Oh, I got to have this amazing looking." And look, there's nothing wrong with having amazing looking things, right? Like look at this. This is beautiful. This is great. And we'll go through some of this stuff. But I want you to know that people have built 6, 7, 8-figure, 9-figure businesses on the backs of funnels that look just like this. They have. So the reason I say that, the reason I emphasize it so strongly is because a lot of times people blame their lack of success on not being able to design pages beautifully or not being able to make their pages look as good as that guru's page or whatever it is. And they spend all day trying to make pages and design funnels that look as good as them when in reality it's not even the issue. It's not even the issue. The issue is the messaging. The issue is just being simple and clear. I promise you that. Okay, so this would be just our basic little funnel. You have a first name. Generally, I like the first name to be the top one and then the bottom one to say email address. Now, I'm not going to go in and change that in our forms right now. All right, we just don't need to deal with that right now. But this is it. And then when they claim their free trial, they're going to land on what we call just a simple bridge page. Awesome. Let's do this. Watch the short video below and get instant access to your free trial. And I would even say here, we might want to say 7-day because we said 7 days over here, right? Free 7-day trial, right? So this should say, not 7-day free trial. This should say free 7-day trial, just like it did on that other page. Now, whoops. Now this is on a different line, right? Well, let's make that a little bigger and let's center that puppy. There we go. All right, and then I would have just a short little video and claim 7-day trial. Now again, with a bridge page, this is a bridge page here, okay? Because right here on this button, I would link out then to a affiliate link right here, right? That's where I would put my affiliate link. All right, so now could we get a little bit more fancy with this as well? Sure, why not, right? We have lots of different options here. For instance, this panel right here is a great panel for a bridge page right here, okay? All you got to do is just adjust this text a little bit here, adjust this here a little bit, and voila, right? Now this would look a little bit better. I like to not make these massive video things, but you get the gist, right? We don't need to, again, this isn't some super special design lesson that we need to go through right now. But you get the gist of how easy that is. And then you have a little bit of lines down here. You can change the photo out, and then you have another button down below, okay? So can we get a little bit more fancy? Yep, we definitely can. But again, remember the whole point behind this. Keep it simple, stupid. Okay? Just keep it simple. That's what this is all about. Just keep it simple. So look, if you're brand new to this thing and this stuff really overwhelms you and it's difficult and it's confusing and you're like, oh my gosh, this is so tough, just look, this is all you need to do, okay? And really quickly, I'm going to actually show you how to set this up really quick so you can get a little bit of a gauge of what to put in certain areas and things like that. Okay, so I'm gonna get you a new page. We're gonna set this up together real quick. Welcome. I'm gonna title the page Welcome. Look, again, don't get into the details of all of this stuff. That can be figured out later. What we're focusing on now is just the simplicity of the design. All right, so first thing I do is I go in and I'll edit the welcome page rather. All right, and then I'm going to add a panel. Always need to just add a panel right away, a blank panel. That's just how this tool works. So you just need a panel right away. Okay, once you got that, then we can start to add text. All right, so let's add title, and let's say free 7-day trial. The only tool you'll ever need to crush your digital marketing. Okay, so then I'll save this thing, right? And I'm gonna make it a little bit bigger. Now, just one little tip that I always like to pass on in terms of design for people is, number one, center this. All right. But with sort of your headlines, I usually push for 3 lines max. Okay, that's generally so what I wouldn't do is I wouldn't try to go on like 5 lines and do it like this. All right. Generally, best conversions that I've ever seen are usually in 3 lines like this. Is that a hard and fast rule that must be followed like a religion? No. But just why reinvent the wheel? Okay. All right. So then I'm going to add another one, and let's just make this a title 5, I guess. Let's do this. Okay. So then I'll say, enter your name and email to claim your trial. All right, I'm going to make this a little bit smaller, about size 22. Okay, size 22, and I'll save it. All right, there we go. There we go. All right, let's center that puppy. All right. And then we're going to go to elements, and we're going to go to email marketing form. Let's just grab one of these now. All right, this one looks good to me. Let's just do this one with the square. Okay, there we go. So now let's just make that like that, and there we go. So can we get into general settings, get into all this stuff, field style? Can we adjust all this stuff? Yep, we can. For the background, yep, we can just leave that as is. That's fine. Okay, if I want a round border, well, there you go. Okay, now it's a little bit rounded on the edges. Maybe I want that more. Oh, I guess I was rounding the border of something else. All right, so let's do 5, 5, 5, 5. There we go. There we go. Okay, now you can see I got a little round border. Okay, all right, so pretty easy. Now, always remember to center these elements. Okay. Now, if you want to, you can make this a little bit smaller. That's fine, but I usually recommend something between 50 and 60 for the headline. All right, so 50 will look something like that, and then 60 will look something like this. All right, so usually somewhere in that area is usually a good place to play. Okay. If you go into the fonts, and you can go into the line height, that will adjust it like this. Usually for a headline, I recommend either a 0.9 or a 1. Usually just 1 is perfect, okay? Getting line height and making that look good is pretty important, all right? So it's important in the design of that. I can't really give you a rule that's going to apply to absolutely every single one, but I can just say it's important that your headlines have the proper line spacing. What I mean by that is when you go over here to fonts, the line height. That's a really, really important one. All right. Okay, so now we just need some terms, conditions, everything like that at the bottom. All right. Now, one little trick, just if you want to use this, you can just go to add panels, go to blocks. And what you can do is you can go down here to one of these and just click on it. And even if you're, well, that one doesn't have it. Let's see. Let's try this one. There you go. So you can get these links here, okay? And the copyright just by using one of those blocks. So let's go up here, and I'll click and drag this up here. See how easy that is? That's just a little trick so you don't have to type all that stuff out. Don't waste time if you don't have to, okay? And then, if I'm not going to use that, I can just delete all this stuff out, okay? All right, so let's see. There we go. Perfect. All right, so that's the look, and then I would just link these. So I can click into that, and then I can link these in a menu when I go to settings here. There we go. Now I can edit where these actually link out to. All right, so perfect, good to go. All right, so now we've got that set. What I'm going to do is I'm going to save it. All right, and then I'm going to close out of this. and I'm going to duplicate this. So the reason I'm going to duplicate this is, look, from font to font, page to page, it's important that, it's super important actually that, thank you too. It's super important that your fonts stay the same or relatively close to the same. So why change up my headline size or my headline font or anything like that, right? Let's just keep it all the same. So what you can do on this one, remember what I did is I said, awesome, let's do this. Watch the short video below and get instant access to your free trial. All right, that's fine. But I think what would be more congruent actually would be, let's look at this here. So on this one here, we have free 7-day trial, the only tool you'll ever need to crush your digital marketing, right? So let's probably just keep that the same, right? If somebody opts in looking at this headline, don't you think that it's probably smart just to keep it the exact same? So this is the second one. This is the thank you page. So on this one, what we're going to do is we're going to say, watch the short video below and claim your trial. All right, so now if I'm going to do a bridge page, this is what I would do. So maybe on this bridge page, I'm going to delete the email form, and I'm going to bring in a video here, okay? So there's our video, and I'm going to drag this down on the page a little bit, down on the page a little bit. All right, now, there we go. I'm going to click on this panel here, and I'm going to make the size a little bit bigger so we have room for a button. I'm going to add a button in here. Button, let's just do this. There we go. That looks a lot like the button on the other page, so that's nice, very congruent. Okay, and then let's drag this down on the page towards the bottom. Again, always remember to center these elements. All right. And let's make this button just a little bit bigger. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to edit this button. And for the headline, we're going to say, claim my free 7-day trial. Again, because we want to make sure that these fonts are matching. So right here, what is this font? It's Muli, M-U-L-I. Okay, so let's not, again, reinvent the wheel. Let's just make these fonts the exact identical font, size, everything. Okay, if I want to bold it, I can bold it or unbold it. Usually on buttons, I recommend that they are bolded. All right. Now, I'm actually not liking how this button looks. I don't like this font all that much. Okay. Actually, it doesn't look like it's the exact same. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to change this headline to Lato Black, which is one of the best headline fonts out there, okay? And I'm going to change this here as well to Lato. We're just going to do the regular Lato, okay? It is one of the most modern fonts, and it works super well, okay? I'm going to make this a little bit smaller. All right, 20, sure, there we go. All right. Watch a short video and claim your trial. Okay. And actually, we should say, click the button below. All right. So then that way they actually know what it is that they're supposed to be doing, right? Okay. So free 7-day trial. We just selected the font of Lato, and then what we're going to do is we're going to go here and we're going to make this Lato Black. Okay. And usually on these buttons, I like about a size 24 to 28, or you can go a little bigger if you wanted. But it's important to have this spaced properly again. So, look, there's no right or wrong rules around this, but you don't want a button that looks like this. Okay, that looks bad. And you don't want a button that looks like this. You want a button that's just got some good spacing. Even if you want to do it large like that, that's okay. All right, that's fine, but I would probably go with just about right here, something like this. Okay, and then I'll hit center on the element. All right, and let's make sure this is centered. There we go. Beautiful, 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 beautiful. Here we go, guys. Here we go. All right, now, this all looks fine. the other thing that you must remember on both these pages, now I know that these fonts are different from page to page because I just changed that. Don't worry about that right now. Obviously, I would come back here to this text. I would change this to Lato black just like the other one, and we'd be good to go. Okay? I'm not going to change that right now. So on this page, the last thing that you need to do is go into your mobile. You need to make sure that this looks good on a mobile. All right. So now I'm looking at this and I'm saying, wow, there's too much padding between all of this stuff. All right. There's too much padding. So what are we going to do? Well, we're going to come in here. We're going to go to page. All right. And we're going to go into, or I'm sorry, we're going to click on the element and you're going to go to advanced and adjust the padding. Okay. So let's just adjust those down to 0. Let's adjust this one down to 0. Okay, so now this is starting to look good, right? Okay, so let's adjust this to 0. Okay. Now we can leave this footer menu just like that. That's fine, all right? Or you can kind of do whatever you want to do with that. We don't need to mess around with that right now. Okay, so all of this is looking good. Okay, look at the spacing, the padding, all that stuff looks great. And then you would go and do it with the same thing with the thank you page. So we have a welcome, a landing page, or an opt-in page, and then we have a capture page. Now here, things are out of whack. Things are out of order. So we're going to click it. We're going to move this menu guide down to the bottom of the page. Okay, and we're going to move this up a little higher. Okay, there we go. And again, you're just gonna mess with the padding here and just make that a little bit smaller. There we go. Now look, you might just have to play around and figure it out a little bit. Ideally, you don't want the button to have multiple lines. Okay, so a couple things that you can do right now, as the tool is. There is not the ability to set a different mobile size for the button text that's coming. So it's just where we're at in development right now, and it is what it is. So what I'm going to do as I'm making my website is I'm going to just adjust. Okay, all right, and I'm going to remove the word free here, and then look at my mobile and see if that fixed the issue. Claim my 7-day trial. Looks good. All right, so we're all good on that. Now, if I click the button, we also have padding on the left and right. So for a button, I'm going to make that 0. I don't want any padding. Okay, so I would set that to 0. All right. All right, so there we go. So this looks fine. All right, this looks fine. This looks good. It's good to go. This would get people through to a free trial for something like Builderall. Okay, it would. If I was an affiliate for Builderall, I could put a video right here that says, hey, here's been my experience with Builderall. I just wanted to welcome you in. Look, they have an affiliate program. That's why I'm shooting this video. And just so you know, as an affiliate, I might make a commission if you do go through and click the button below, just so you're aware of that. And I have to say that for FTC compliance. Okay, so this is a pretty simple 2-step funnel that you can utilize and implement for yourself right now, and it works super well. Like this actually works. I know that this is shocking to some people, but it actually works, okay? All right, so now that we've got this kind of set up and established, here's what I want to do is I want to take you through just a nicer looking funnel, okay? Even if you're building funnels on a different platform, you might use something else to build your websites, not Builderall, and you're just getting familiar with Builderall. That's fine too, okay? It's not a big deal. We're not, going to hunt you down or whatever. But if you're getting into Builderall right now, just know that this Cheetah is, the Cheetah Builder is, it's really about 20 days from just being fully done. So it's looking like the end of November 2019, and it will be done. So number one, if you're watching it now, or if you're watching this later, some of this stuff might change a little bit on the page, and that's okay. All right, it's just you gotta figure it out. Okay, that's how software companies work. That's how, if you want to be a digital marketer, surprise, surprise, you're going to have to mess around with a lot of different software changes. It's just how it goes, okay? So you're just going to have to learn to get over it and figure it out, okay? No complaining, no whining, just figure it out, okay? All right, that's what top earners do. All right, so let's say we want to make this look a little bit better, just like a little bit more quality with some a little bit more souped up style, for instance. So if I go into blocks, or really you can get into just any of these contents, call to action, features, whatever you want, but I'm going to try to, here's what I do. This is my strategy and why I've done so well in this industry and affiliate marketing and everything, is I keep this super simple. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come in here and I'm going to just look for a beautiful opt-in page. All right, so let's do this thing. Let me grab this one here. This one's pretty simple and straightforward. Okay, so let's do this guy. All right, so a couple things. When this first pops up on my page, I'm not going to delete this. I'm just going to hit copy on this if I want to keep this headline. All right, so I can then come down here and bring it into this box. So there we go. So when this first pops in, based on page settings that we've got, you might just have to quickly adjust a few elements on these. Remember, always center the element. Okay, after you move anything, always center the element. Make sure it looks good, right? So if I click on this text, I can always just paste in here just to see what's going on. Okay, so what we're going to do is, for the red part, we're going to do 7-day trial. Okay, there we go. Perfect. The only all-in-one, I like to use all-in-one, tool you'll ever need to crush, and then let's say, your digital marketing. Oops. Okay. Which, by the way, I'm just going to clear up for you. Not a great headline, okay? Not a great headline, but it's going to do the trick today, okay? All right, there we go. Perfect. It's Lato black. It looks beautiful. That will get the job done, all right? All right, so I'm not even going to change this right now. I'm just going to leave this, but I would actually go through and change that to sort of fit my thing a little bit. Fill out the form below to get your free video sent straight to you. Okay, perfect. This looks great. There's nothing wrong with this. It looks beautiful. We don't really need to change much else, and I'm going to delete that. All right, so there's a couple things you can do. If you want to drag these up further on the page, you can do that. It's not a big deal, but really you're just kind of good to go on this thing. Okay, you're kind of good to go, and this is just an easy way to do that. Okay, so now we're just going to quickly go and check the mobile. Mobile looks good for the most part. I mean, there's nothing really to change here. Okay. Yeah, I mean, there's just nothing. It looks beautiful, looks good. One little tip that I just noticed right here, though, that I do want to show you is sometimes you'll notice how transform right here, where it says transform, is kind of on its own line. It looks weird. The reason for that is primarily because when this got set up, somebody hit the enter key. Okay, so what I'd recommend is not doing that. I would recommend instead just sizing this like properly like this. Okay, and then let's center that element. Okay, center element. Then when you go to the mobile, it doesn't put the word transform on its own line like that and look weird. Okay, it just won't look weird. It'll look proper. All right, and on mobile, if you ever don't want, let's say I don't want this image to show up on mobile, I can always just click this little eye and poof, it's gone. All right, so maybe I didn't like how that looked, or maybe it came beneath the fold or something like that. Poof, it's gone, and I can go into hidden elements, and if I want to bring it back, I can just click that. So very easy, very simple, straightforward. If you're using something else to build your funnels, most other funnel softwares have that as well. So that's just I mean, that's pretty simple and straightforward. Yeah, that's as simple and straightforward as I can make it, to be totally honest with you. Okay, and it looks beautiful. Okay, and look, I didn't really even do much here. I didn't really change much, but it's, if you want to soup it up again, you can do it that way. For the thank you page, then I would add a different panel, and I would go into blocks. Okay. And let's say I want a little bridge page on this. Okay, so let's do our little bridge page. Easy, right? Congratulations. Watch the short video below. Okay, now this isn't very descriptive of this free 7-day trial. Okay, so maybe what I'll do here is I'll say, congrats on claiming your trial. Free trial. Free 7-day trial. All right, so that's a little bit long. I don't love that. Okay, so let's just say congratulations on claiming your trial. Okay, so there we go. I'm going to center that element. All right. Okay, so I don't love this font here. It just looks a little bit big for me, so I'm going to make that smaller. Size 24. Let's even make it a little bit smaller than that. Maybe we can make this H3 or H4. Okay, let's just make it smaller. There we go. I like having that just a lot smaller. It looks a little bit better. Okay. Then we have our video. All right, and then we can put this right beneath the video. Okay. So whatever your name is, you can just put your name in right there. Okay, good to go. And then on this video, again, this is where you would actually send them to the trial. So this looks pretty good right now. I just make this button a little bit bigger. Okay. Boom. There we go. Now, if I change the button here, I've also got to change the button down here, right? So what I'll do is I will clone this button then. So what I usually like to do, and here's just a quick tip, for videos, what I'll do is I'll come in and click on the little link to link out to a URL. So this would link to, you know, if I'm promoting Builderall or promoting some affiliate offer, that would go to my actual link where they would see the page to sign up. And you can send that to whatever page you want, but generally that'll go right to the page where they're going to either check out or they're going to read through the features. All right. And then, so I can put in my name here. You can also put in your name down here. So you want to read through this and make sure it actually fits your offer, right? But once I have this button ready, I can then let's see here, duplicate it. And then I would delete this one down here. Okay. Very simple. And then I would drag this one down here. Perfect. There we go. All right. There we go. Let's center that element. Good to go. All right, so again, guys, I'm going to say this and I'm going to beat this dead horse until it's dead. This is simple. Keep it simple, okay? Just keep your messaging on point. Make it clear and easy to understand. And all of this suddenly becomes very easy. The reason we don't even get that far into design necessarily, which, look, design's important, but the reason we don't get super deep into design is because there's so many templates, there's so many pre-done things these days. WordPress, ClickFunnels, Wix, Squarespace, they have these pre-done templates, right? They're just kind of sitting ready to go. So the design piece of it isn't as important. And the reason we know that is, look, so many people have access to these softwares like Builderall, right? And yet such a small percentage of people actually use them to become wealthy on the internet. Why is that? Why is that? It's certainly not because they don't have pre-done templates to create beautiful landing pages and funnels. That's not the answer. The answer is your messaging. The answer is your marketing. That's the answer. That's the difference. Okay, so we've gone through a very simple two-step funnel. Now, for whatever business that you're in, let's say if I'm in an application business or if I'm in a kind of a lead generation business for HVAC, I could use a panel that looks like this. And there's more of these coming, just so you know, lots more. Okay, we have a whole design team working on those. I'm not going to get into what's coming with the tool and what's not right now. Okay, we're not going to get into that. But you can just, if you were in lead generation for HVAC, you could say, free video demonstrates the one hidden secret to growing your social media presence. You could say free video demonstrates the 5 things you must know before getting your HVAC serviced. All right, something like that. And then you can get their first name, last name, email, and phone number. Okay, pretty simple. If you were in an app and you would do that on your first page, and then on the next page, I mean, you essentially just use a bridge page funnel. But here's if you wanted to do like an application funnel or something like that, you could use a panel like this, right? And we have used this to generate tens of thousands, actually, yeah, I mean, maybe 6 figures in sales using a very similar page to this. I personally have. Very similar to this, okay? And then look down here below. Check it out. Here's an actual application. Here's an actual application you can use, okay? So let's just be very clear. The stuff is here for you, okay? The stuff is here for you. You can go into Mailing Boss and mess around with this and actually get this set up and ready to go. So if you're doing an ad agency, you're doing a web design agency, you're doing whatever, you can use this exact thing, and it's very simple and straightforward, okay? All right, so you would just come in, customize this. This would be your thank you page, and that's all. You don't need to create some fancy video. You don't need to do any of that stuff. All right. So hopefully this is helpful and makes sense now. Are there going to be different things that show up on the page? Are there going to be different headaches you're going to have to work through when you're building your funnel? The answer to this is yes. All right. We're not going to clog this Facebook group in the boot camp. We're not going to clog it with support tickets. We're not going to clog it with any of that stuff. But here's what I want you to do. If you have a funnel today, if you have a funnel done, ready to go today, here's what I want you to do. I want you to paste the link. I want you to get the link to that, and I want you to put it in the comments, okay? Here's what we're going to do. Tomorrow, whether it's pre-recorded or live, that's to be determined, we're going to go through various links for people's funnels, all right? So even if you're just getting your funnel set up right now for the first time, I want you to get it set up, I want you to get it created, and I want you to send me the link to your funnel in the comments of this video. That really simply by just coming right here and hitting go to website page. It'll pull open your funnel, copy that, and paste it. Okay, it's very simple. If you have your actual domain set up, like you go through the whole thing in the site settings and you get everything all set up, okay, go for it. That's great, but all we really need is just this link right here, and that's totally fine, all right? The last piece of this, I need you to commit to figuring it out, okay? Whether you're creating it on Cheetah, whether you're creating it on Pixel Perfect, doesn't matter. Wherever you feel most comfortable to create the site, create it. Okay? It's not I am so unfocused with the little minutia and little tiny things about, well, what about should I use this tool, or this thing doesn't seem to work perfectly, or whatever. Any support stuff, take it to support with whatever company you're building your funnels with. If it's Builderall, go into the Facebook Builderall support group, post whatever's not working. Submit a support ticket in the back office, okay? That's all very easy to do. You can come into your back office, okay? You can go to help and you can go to support, or you can go to tickets. Either one is fine. Very easy to get help, okay? Very easy to get your support tickets taken care of. And furthermore, I'd probably recommend starting there rather than jumping into Facebook quick, because that can sort of create a culture where people start to nag and it seems like there's issues all the time, and it creates kind of a negative energy. I would just go and create a support ticket if you have any issues, all right? So hopefully this makes sense. For whatever business you're in, for whatever industry you're in, I want you to go ahead and I want you to start creating that funnel. Today's a national holiday. It's Veterans Day. Maybe you have the day off. I want you to create the funnel, and I want you to post the link in the comments here. And whoever posts it, guess what? You're going to get a free website critique, a little hot seat critique tomorrow, which is Tuesday, for day 12. So Congratulations on making it through this long video. Hopefully this was helpful for you. All right. Hopefully this was helpful, and let's rock and roll.